So welcome back again. I was talking about the title of the research project. You can see like these are some of the example which you should not use, right? That is why I said reject. I mean, your title should not be too long, too technical, or it should not be too short. So I was explaining this. जिसका जो अच्छा example हमने बताया था कि what should be good example, understanding the role of CEO for effective functioning of institution. अब इसी टाइटल को कितना बिगाड़ा जा सकता है वो देखिए. Determining the mechanism of selection procedure of CEO as per prevailing governmental regulations and political influence in actual appointment of CEO and other authorities of institution and its impact on overall functioning of institution. You can see here because this was very fine-tuned, very attention-grabbing, very catchy title, like understanding role of CEO for effective functioning, and इसी को हमने कितना खराब कर दिया. Similarly, the second title, this was like social status of financially underprivileged and privileged people. Social status of financially, because जैसे मैंने बताया था ना कि ये पूरा सेंटेंस नहीं होना चाहिए, ये phrase is always better. This is phrase, social status of financially underprivileged and privileged people. अब इसको सेंटेंस में कन्वर्ट अगर करेंगे तो कैसे होगा? देखिए, कंपैरेटिव स्टडी ऑफ, ये होना ही नहीं चाहिए. कंपैरेटिव स्टडी ये होना ही नहीं चाहिए टाइटल में. फिलर वर्ड कभी भी नहीं होने चाहिए. So you can see here the comparative study of social status of people having various opportunities and challenges in earning through their conventional and non-conventional options in age group of 30 to 50 and its impact on their livelihood. You can see you see like this was very attention grabbing title, but this becomes a very slobby kind of title. Next is abstract or summary of the proposal. Now, what the summary or abstract is all about, this is often in 200 to 300 words, depending on the funding agency. You need to refer the guidelines कि abstract जो है और summary जो है कितने words का चाहिए. On an average, it is going to be 200 to 300 words. Now, what does this abstract is going to consisting of? There could be three different points. जैसे कि मान लो आपने प्रपोजल सबमिट कर रहे हैं फंडिंग के लिए, तो व्हाट यू विल बी डूइंग, व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू, राइट? देयर शुड बी 3 पैराग्राफ इन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट. फर्स्ट वी रिफ्लेक्ट व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू, मतलब आप क्या करने वाले हो. हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डू, मतलब कैसे आप करने वाले हो. एंड व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू अचीव, व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू लाइक, मतलब आपको क्या मिलना है. सो व्हाट यू विल बी डूइंग, how you will be doing, and what you will be achieving, that need to be reflected in your abstract or summary very specifically. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि ये abstract में आप मतलब क्या करने वाले हो यही समझ में नहीं आता रिव्यूअर को. सो इट शुड बी वेरी वेरी क्लियर. ये डॉक्यूमेंट बहुत लेंदी नहीं होना चाहिए. इट शुड बी ओनली 1 page डॉक्यूमेंट and having 3 very specific paragraph. One paragraph will explain what you are going to do, second paragraph will explain how you are going to do, and third paragraph will explain what you are going to achieve. If you are submitting proposal, let us say if you are submitting manuscript, आपने काम already कर दिया है, right? You have already done experimental work and now you are submitting manuscript for publication to some journal. Then what you will be writing, what you have done, how you have done, and what you have achieved. मतलब आपने क्या काम किया है, कैसे काम किया है, and क्या आपको results मिले हैं, right? What you have done, 1 paragraph. How you have done, 2nd paragraph. And what you have done means what are the objectives of your proposal, or what were the objectives. Like जब फंडिंग के लिए आप भेजेंगे तो वहां पर what are the objectives. जब आप रिसर्च मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट सबमिट करेंगे तो what were the objectives. Then second, what are the methodology which you have already utilized or you are going to utilize. That would be second paragraph. And third one is like what kind of result you are expecting or what kind of result you have already achieved. So that should be reflected in the abstract. So जैसे कि मैंने देखा आज तक कि ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट यहाँ पर बहुत गलती कर बैठते हैं, तो उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि क्या लिखना चाहिए abstract में. Abstract should be very very specific, right? कि what kind of work you want to do, how you are going to do that work, and what you are going to achieve. Now there are very common mistake. What are the common mistake? टू मच बैकग्राउंड और मेथड इंफॉर्मेशन, मतलब जो भी मेथोडोलॉजी आप यूज करेंगे उसका बहुत ज्यादा हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड देना नहीं देना चाहिए. Figure and images, because abstract or in summary you are not supposed to give any figure or images. Truly speaking, nowadays as far as the manuscript submission is concerned, there is a new trend. The journals are always going to ask you to submit like the graphical abstract. So that is altogether different. Like whenever you are submitting manuscript for publication, they may ask you to submit graphical abstract. That is definitely you can submit. But whenever you are submitting text abstract, there you should not mention any, you should not give any figures. Rather, and moreover, the references to other literature should not be there. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हमने result and discussion, usually we should mention that whatever result you got, how your results are better than the earlier results, right? How your results are better than earlier published work. So for that purpose, you need to mention some references in the result and discussion, but that need not be mentioned, should not be mentioned in abstract. And similarly, as I mentioned earlier, in abstract, there should not be any abbreviation or acronyms. There should not be any abbreviations, right? Because in introduction part, you can write, like, for example, SWNT. So that SWNT is abbreviation of single wall carbon atom. That can be mentioned in introduction part. You can write single wall carbon atom, and in bracket you can write SWNT, and later on you can use SWNT as it is in due course of time in your investigation, in your manuscript. But to begin with, in abstract, there should not be any abbreviation. Now, what is good abstract and what is bad abstract? You can see good, what is good and what is reject. Reject means it should not be like this. Like in good abstract, give a short but informative background to justify research hypothesis and objectives. Because this is very, very important. As I mentioned earlier, 3 पैराग्राफ होनी चाहिए. पहला पैराग्राफ होगा कि आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या है, सेकंड पैराग्राफ होगा मेथोडोलॉजी क्या है, थर्ड पैराग्राफ होगा what result you are expecting. So objectives, methodology, and what you are expecting. It is a kind of hypothesis. Objectives and hypothesis. Clearly state your hypothesis means क्या आपको मिलने वाला है. State objectives and aim of the proposal. State impact, significance, and innovation in the proposal. Define acronym as much as possible. Like if at all you are using, define it. Okay, it is always better to avoid, but if at all if you are using it, define it, right? It means that in summary, what does it mean? It means it should consisting of 3 paragraphs: objectives, methodology, and expected outcome. What it should not be the reject means technical and condensed phrasing of the project. Like if you are writing too much technical aspect of the project, that is not expected in abstract. No clear statement of what is the purpose of the study. Truly speaking, why significance is very important, right? Why you are doing that? If you are not able to mention that in abstract, then it would be very difficult for a reviewer to get your proposal funded. Next is very important, like introduction. Introduction is going to be very, very important because, as I mentioned earlier, 3 parameters like novelty, social relevance, and credibility. These are going to be very, very important aspect of any research proposal to be funded, right? And if you want to, show that your proposal is having all those 3 reflection of all those 3 parameters, then introduction is the place where you can show that yes, this work is novel. The work which you are going to undertake is novel. It has got some social relevance. Means what? Like whatever the outcome of this research you will be having, that is going to be useful from some cross section of society, and you have got some credibility, right? So that need to be reflected in introduction part. तो कैसे reflect करना है? तो आपको मैं बताऊं कि introduction में because you need to provide a background, objectives, and importance along with literature review. Because whenever you are talking about literature review, then as I mentioned earlier, what you will be doing, you will be making a statement that till this point of time, in this particular area, what are the research groups who are working, number one. Then what exactly they are doing, what kind of methodology they are using to get the result, what are their prominent results, and most importantly, what are the shortcomings, right? So once you understand the shortcomings of their investigation, then you will be able to prepare a comprehensive planning. Because understanding shortcomings means what? Like you are identifying, essentially you are identifying gaps, and once you identify gaps, then you will be like in the right position to prepare a comprehensive planning to bridge those gaps, right? And therefore, if you could do this, it means that you will be able to address the novelty aspect. Social relevance, you need to project. Social relevance, you need to project, like whatever result you will be having, these results are going to be useful for मतलब किस form of, like you need to project, like इसलिए alignment is very very important. Either you can align the outcome of your project with some national mission, like क्लीन इंडिया का मिशन है, या मेक इन इंडिया का मिशन है, या डिजिटल इंडिया का मिशन है, or if not, if you are not able to align the outcome of your project to one of the national mission, then what you need to do, like whatever outcome you will be having, whatever outcome you are expecting from your project, you should make it sure that those outcomes, those results are going to be utilized for the welfare of some mankind. This is very very important. And then third point is going to be credibility. Credibility, यहाँ पर आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि इस टॉपिक पे आपने क्या काम किया। जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया था कि if you want to go to abroad for doing PhD and you are writing proposal, so what you need to do, you need to mention that during my MSc I was working on this and this project, I got these results, and these results have been published in these and these journals. That need to mention in introduction part itself, because whenever the reviewer is going to go through your introduction, he must be able to understand what kind of experience you have got in this particular area. And if you can show that, let me tell you, my friend, because I have seen many students, those who are having this kind of experience during their masters, they are being easily getting opportunities for doing PhD in many foreign developed countries, good countries. तो ये तो ओवरऑल मैंने बताया. Then again there are some additional points, like what should be there in introduction or background or not. There should be a section within the background to discuss preliminary data. Preliminary data means what? Like वही मैं बता रहा था कि जिस एरिया में, that is why it is going to be very important to select the topic of your interest for your MSc project. जो प्रोजेक्ट आप लोग करेंगे MSc सेकंड ईयर, मैंने बताया था आपको सेकंड सेमेस्टर ऑनवर्ड्स, वो उसी एरिया में आप काम करिए जहां पर आपको इंटरेस्ट है. बिकॉज यू सी, आप अगर ऐसा नहीं करोगे, आप किसी भी टॉपिक को चुन कर अगर आप MSc प्रोजेक्ट आप करना शुरू करोगे, एंड देन लेटर ऑन फॉर डूइंग PhD इफ यू वांट टू स्विच टू सम अदर टॉपिक, then it will be very difficult for you to claim credential or credibility in that area. Rather, if you can identify what are, that is why I said, like you should, you know, to begin with, you should do SWOT analysis. आप खुद का SWOT analysis करिए, देखिए कि आपकी strength क्या है, accordingly choose the laboratories. Like for doing project, you choose the laboratories. कौन से laboratory में क्या काम होता है. आप जैसे last lecture में मैंने बताया था आपको कि आप देखिए कि unfortunately the pandemic is going on, you are not in Aurangabad, but whenever this pandemic is going to be over and whenever you will be in the department, you please visit various laboratories, see what kind of infrastructure they have and what is your own interest. That is very very important. भले ही infrastructure है लेकिन आपका interest उसमें नहीं है, so that is not going to solve the purpose. So आपका interest क्या है? So this will help you to do some preliminary work during your MSc. तो आप क्या करेंगे कि जो भी आप काम करेंगे MSc के दरमियान, that would be a kind of preliminary data that you can project whenever you will be making proposal for your PhD. आप जब आप किसी फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना चाहोगे. So therefore in introduction you need to connect your preliminary data to background. मतलब आपने जो काम किया है वो आप कनेक्ट कर सकते हो कि भाई इसका जो प्रिलिमिनरी काम ऑलरेडी मैंने मेरे MSc के प्रोजेक्ट में किया है, I would like to extend this work during my PhD. So you will be like better candidate to be selected for that particular position. And if limited preliminary data, spend time on innovation of the proposal. Like अगर मान लो आपके पास वैसा नहीं है, या whatever data you have, it is very limited in nature. Whatever data you generated from project is very limited in nature. Then you need to focus on innovation. Like what kind of innovation you are going to have in the proposal, that need to be very specifically mentioned in introduction part. And this is going to be very, very important. What should not be there? Do not expand background to unnecessarily information that does not support your hypothesis. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हम क्या करते हैं इंट्रोडक्शन में बहुत कुछ दुनिया की सब बातें लिखने की कोशिश करके, but that is going to be very, very that is going to go against you. Let me tell you, my friend. Therefore, you need to be very specific कि क्या चाहिए, hypothesis आपका क्या है, उसके accordingly ही आपको लिखना है. Background should not exceed 2 to 3 pages of the proposal. Overall, like whatever introduction I'm talking about, it should not be more than 2 to 3 pages. Like I would say, like it should be better. You should somehow could manage it within 2 pages. No preliminary data will have negative impact on the proposal in 2 ways. अगर आपके पास preliminary data नहीं है, जैसे मैंने कहा कि MSc आप जब काम करोगे, so if you don't have a good, data to you have generated, if you have not generated good amount of data during your MSc, then इसका दो effect होगा. No indication that proposal will be feasible, and no indication that applicant can do the proposed work. So there are two. Like feasibility, जैसे मैंने बताया था आपको, feasibility is one of the important factor. तो उनको कैसे पता चलेगा कि feasible है, एंड दूसरा कि आप ये कर सकते हो, ये भी कैसे पता चलेगा, क्योंकि आपने अगर कुछ क्लेम किया कि भाई इस प्रोजेक्ट पे मैंने ऑलरेडी काम किया है एंड देन आई हैव सम पब्लिश डेटा, इट मींस दैट दे विल हैव अ काइंड ऑफ फेथ एंड ट्रस्ट ऑन यू दैट यस this is the right person to work on this project, right? And therefore preliminary data is going to be very, very important. And I will consider this point and then I will stop. Origin of the proposal. What is origin? You see, here we have to prove the brief background of idea generation. मतलब ये जो आइडिया आपके पास आया है, जैसे कि मान लो जैसे मैंने बताया था कि you want to work on, let us say, detection of heavy metal ions, right? You want to develop sensor for detection of heavy metal ions. But why you want to do this, right? So you need to make, this is what the origin of proposal is all about. तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि like for example, like let's say आप यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया जा रहे हो, तो आपको you need to identify some issues in the some California, right? Some issues in California. Let us say आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि कैलिफोर्निया में because of industrialization in जो ड्रिंकिंग वाटर है वहां पर हेवी मेटल आयन का प्रमाण बहुत ज्यादा है. This is what one of the problem you have identified, right? That, or let us say pollution. Like Los Angeles is one of the polluted cities. Of course, India से बहुत कम है, but still, as far as the US is concerned, the most polluted city in the US is Los Angeles, right? तो आप मान लो UCLA में जा रहे हो, University of California, Los Angeles में आप apply कर रहे हो. So what you can do, then you can mention that in Los Angeles, because of this and this reason, the environmental pollutants are huge in the environment, right? And therefore, I would like to develop a sensing array, variable sensing array, whatever, like which will detect all those environmental pollutants, right? तो उसका origin क्या होगा? Origin आपने देखा कि yes, because since California, Los Angeles has tremendous environmental pollution, and therefore I thought of working on this particular project during my PhD. So this is what the idea generation is. So आप वैसे ही, जैसे कि मान लो आप बॉम्बे में काम करना चाहते हो, बॉम्बे TFR में काम करना चाहते हो, BRC में काम करना चाहते हो, तो what are the issues pertaining to Bombay area, right? You identify those issues and then like you try to work on those issues, right? So if you can have that kind of information in the origin of the proposal, let me tell you, my friend, it's going to be wonderful. And what it should not be there, historical background of the project and technical details of the in origin of the top proposal. Historical background नहीं होना चाहिए. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि in origin means like they always start from history. No, origin means how this idea, what is the process by which this idea generation takes place, right? So that need to be reflected in origin of the proposal. No historical background, no technical details, right? So I will stop here today.